Alright, as we are jumping headfirst into the last installment of this costume, I am taking apart a pair of my husband's pants that he has lost enough weight from and he can't fit them anymore, plus there's a couple holes in them. So I figured this would be the perfect pair to go ahead and practice my deconstruction, reconstruction, and readjusting skills. With that said, I am going to essentially seam rip every single little seam from the crotch of these pants all the way down to the hem of these pants. We've got at least one leg open, even though at this ridiculous angle you can't see it all the way through, but with one leg done, you gotta go all the way back to the crotch and go and do the other side. I think as of this point I have both of them just ripped down the middle all the way. Yep, I am showing where it's going to kind of sort of not really hit on me because I never actually tried these on prior to doing this. So, you know, guesstimation at its finest. Definitely trying to show off the general area where I drew on so you can see where I think the general line for the skirt is gonna go. And getting very brave with my tailoring scissors that my husband got for me when we first started dating and he found out that I like sewing. I go to town and do one pants leg and essentially will do the next. After triple checking my cuts were relatively okay, I fold the pants and set them off to the side and get ready to seam rip some of the shirt. I have had this old flannel shirt for a couple years now. It used to fit me when I was a teenager, but you know, I've grown and I filled out in a couple areas. And the shoulders, after playing sports, was definitely one of them. And while I have adored this flannel, I wanted to repurpose it, and so I did for this project. So on the off chance that I ever wanted to actually use this again, I decided to not do the entire shoulder and tried to do just like a general shoulder pad area. So using my seam ripper again, I only do the top portion where you can see me picking at here. There was so much serging lines to get through. It was a nightmare, but with a good book in my ear and a little bit of time on my lunch break, I just went to town picking. I should have thrown this in earlier in the video, but here is a small snippet of the concept art that I came up with for this costume. Okay, so before you see the pants that have been cut up into 3 separate pieces. So we have the original waist with zipper and pockets. This was originally like the crotch area, and then these are the 2 pants legs. My goal is to take these pieces and magically piece them into a skirt. I still need to seam rip at least these 2 pieces. I haven't decided if this is like actually salvageable for me to use. I might, I don't know yet. Who knows, I might use it as a ruffle. But yeah, so I gotta get to unseaming and stitching. Upon stitching this all together, I used between a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch just to kind of give it that haphazardly scrapped together scarecrow semi-design. Okay, so I have stitched the different panels from the pants into a long strip, and then I am attaching this crocheted lace that I also got from Michael's for like $3 for, I guess, the summer clearance sale. So I'm going to snip the end here, and I'm going to go about attaching the lace to the pants. Just so you guys can kind of see, I am doing a 16 at this type of tension. I don't know. I just turn to the pretty stitch and I go and hope it all goes well. So, yeah. It was kind of sad because in the end, I just didn't like the way this lace looked with the skirt, and thankfully I was able to go ahead and free it from the skirt and use it for a future outfit, dress, or costume. We shall see. But you'll see here in the mirror that it just didn't quite look right, so I decided to scrap it. Okay, so don't come for me because I haven't been recording this process, but you can see I have taken out the trim and I am doing a marker just as, you know, triangle upside downs, and so I'm giving it like this jagged frayed edge. and I'm going to hot glue straw to the underside of this, and we will go from there. But I am on a crunch time, so I'll try to record more at my lunch and not on my break. But yeah, that's the general plan. Doing the zigzags and, you know, getting it as ugly and scrappy as we can. Okay, did not record the process for this, but I've essentially just hot glued fake leaves, straw, and the dead flowers, and I'll turn it inside out and show you that way. Okay, so that's what the skirt looks like right side out with all of this hanging on underneath. I'm gonna have to take that bit off, but I'm not too worried about it. It's almost done. Okay, so I've officially got dinner started, waiting on that to finish. I have some stuff baking in the oven. And last but not least, to finally finish my costume. So in case y'all have been watching up to this point, we have a hat, we have a mask, we have a shirt, we have the skirt, which has been, you know, trial and error and constant indecision, but this is what I'm going for now. And now, last but not least, we are doing the stockings, which means we are going to hand stitch all of this burlap up and down my legs. Yay me! Alright, so I'm not recording this process because I'm having to kind of like contort my leg to do most of this. So, as you can see, I am just stitching the burlap to these stockings. When I get at least the burlap on, I will probably show you guys a little bit more, but just for the sake of the bend, I am going to stitch this while the knee is bent. I'm not going to really mess around with the top because I might try to stuff some straw like in the tops. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do the front, or if I'm going to try to do like similarly with the mask and just do yarn lacing over the front. We will see, but I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, as you can see, I just kind of have this base stitch or whip stitch. I don't know which stitch it specifically is. I am leaving this space here on the back of my calf just for the sake of walking. As you can see, it does bow up a little bit here. I am going to go over the top of this with the black yarn, I think, just to add the stitching purposes and just so you guys can see, because trying to stitch this is a lot harder than you think. I kept my knee bent throughout the purpose of this so it's easier to sit down, but when you're doing the back, I'm trying to tuck it as far around my ankle as I can, and then I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap around the knee for walking purposes. But yeah, it's almost done. Just so you can kind of see the burlap legs in person. You can kind of see the whole back of it is clear. By the front of it, it's got the burlap. And so now, I'm going to get ready to go to work. Just in case you guys didn't get to see the skirt, I have straw and fake leaves and other stuff kind of attached, but yeah, on to the next layer. Hello! Okay, just gotta add the hat and the gloves. Spoiler, I didn't win, but I still had fun.